Hi everyone, this is Angelica. How are you today? Thank you for watching this video. Today's video is called Love and Miracles Are Everywhere. And this video is based on a book that I started reading in the past couple of days. And I really love it. And I had forgotten about the book that came before it until being reminded when this book came out. So it's called E Cubed, and it's by Pam Grout, and it's a really great book. And her first book was called E Squared, and by Pam Grout, G-R-O-U-T, I believe. And it's amazing. It's an amazing book. And so what she has is experiments that you do in order to prove to you that the universe has your best interests in mind all the time. So it's the universe is constantly trying to bring you miracles and love and everything, but we have, like, in a sense, our blinders on, preventing the things from coming through. So it's really wonderful because when you know, it goes deeper than, you know, the law of attraction and the power of positive thinking, because, you know, I've read many of those books and there's a lot of things in there that seems to be missing. Or it could be the way that she describes it really works well for me personally. She's a really good writer, and I like her. She's very humorous, she's funny, and she describes things really well and makes them so that you can actually utilize these experiments in your everyday life. So it's great too because she really believes in the spirit of play and games, and I love that because you know, I have children, so I've been, for the past couple days, telling them in the morning, I'm like, you guys, so one of her things is, when you wake up in the morning, and I'm sure you probably, you know, have done this because I do this, and what happens when you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta get up, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I don't want to get up. And so all these thoughts run through your mind, and that's what starts your day off. And so what you're thinking about in the morning can kind of set the tone for the entire day. And it's important to seed your mind with inspirational thoughts and something that's going to, you know, help you have a really great day, because it sets the tone for the entire day, your morning. And I will be talking further about the mornings and what you can do to make sure you set up your day to be, you know, fully in alignment with the universe. And she talks a lot about that. She calls it the field of potentiality, I believe, and she calls it FP. So I call it the universe. It's just easier. So when you're in alignment with the universe, everything just comes to you. So it's great. But a lot of us living in this world tend to live in more of the negative, you know, mind state, and that's really easy for us to get in, you know, stuck in, because it's what is primarily, you know, thought about in our society. The doom and gloom, the news, the, you know, the ways the structures are set up aren't always, you know, beneficial for, you know, our growth and our spiritual lives. And I've had to really come up against some interesting things in regards to that in my son and his school and everything like that. So, and which have all been worked out miraculously, and everything's really good with that now. So it can be hard to work within these structures, being a very empathic person and taking everything in. So it's important that we set the tone of the day in the morning to ensure that we have a good day and that we're actually magnetizing miracles and love to come within our field. okay? Our little field. So we have a little field that surrounds us, and we want nothing but joy and love and happiness to come within that. And what we tend to do is fall into the trap of society and think that we have to do this a certain way, and we're outcasts, and we don't fit in and everything else. So one of her little games, and it's different than just waking up and saying affirmations, which I really like because I've tried that before and it works, but it works very slowly over time. But this little game that she has, and she has so many, she has 9 experiments in her first book, E Squared, and then in this book, E Cubed. So there's a total of 18 experiments. But in this one, this isn't even one of her experiments. This is just something she said in her book that I was telling my kids. And so I'm like, everybody, listen. I said, something amazingly awesome will happen to you today. I said, so I'm like, I just have a feeling, okay? So when you go out to school, search for the good miracle, the miraculous thing that I feel is going to happen, okay? And they were like, yeah, okay, cool, sure. So and it's cool because everybody had something really amazingly awesome happen to them when I checked in with them later on, and they were looking, and they did. All 3 of them had something good happen to them that day. So getting psyched up and motivated in the morning to expect something good to happen. And it can be a very small thing that's very meaningful to you, and as you kind of search for these miracles and this love and this kindness that's way more prevalent out there than the lack and the the bad things that are happening. It's a lot of those things are just in our mind. So good things are everywhere. And so if we focus in and we try to bring about those good things into our lives, they actually are magnetized to us even more. So yes, waking up and saying, I'm excited because something amazingly awesome is going to happen to me today, and I'm going to search for it. So this kind of goes beyond like gratitude journal, right? So this goes beyond being grateful for things, because what you're doing is you're kind of turning it into a game, and you're kind of putting an intention out to the universe saying, yeah, I know something amazingly awesome is going to happen today, and I'm really excited for it. I can't wait to see what that is. So I really like that better than the gratitude, because we all know to be grateful, and that's kind of getting really embedded into our subconscious minds to look for the good things in the world and stuff. But when you kind of turn it into a game and get excited about it, it puts a whole new like dimensional quality to it to make it even more powerful to bring those things in. So another thing that she talks about that I really like is saying about everything in your life, this is the best thing that can happen, that could have ever happened to me. This is the best thing that can happen to me. Because oftentimes when people go through struggle, or when people have bad things, seemingly bad things happen to them, they actually end up turning into gifts. And I have learned this recently with something that I just thought was so traumatic, and we learned it over and over again. But when we have a certain set way of what we think life should be or how it should play out, and then things don't go according to that plan, and that plan is very narrow, there's infinite possibilities. And so when we kind of put these blinders on and only say this is all that can happen, you're not allowing for the universe to bring in the blessing. And so if a bad thing happens to you, just say, this is the best thing that can happen to me right now. Because oftentimes when you do have a strong desire for things to come into your reality, the universe tries to bring it to you immediately. And when that comes about, what will happen is it could appear as if bad things are happening as you are releasing things that are holding you back from bringing that in. And that's where people slip up. Bad things not bad things, but inconvenient things to break us free from our normal, everyday ways of thinking things should be. And so we have to let go of the control. We have to surrender and allow the universe to bring us what we're asking for. And that may mean that we may feel things are not going according to plan. But when you know within your heart and you have an understanding of what's actually taking place, you recognize that these things that appear bad are really not. They're just allowing you to move more into alignment and into the frequency of that which you're desiring. And so with that understanding, you can continue to stay positive throughout anything that's occurring in your life. And especially with spiritual awakening, you know, you're letting go of everything. You're letting go of an old way of being, and that can be very uncomfortable. But when you have an understanding of what's actually taking place, then that's when, you know, all the miracles can come in and you can appreciate what's actually happening to you, and you can move up into that higher level. And yes, so be aware of all the love and miracles. They're everywhere. Start to track them. If you want to leave comments below this video about love and miracles that have happened to you today, I would really appreciate that. I think that that would be a wonderful way to get people started and motivated in order to keep their attention on looking for the miracles. So no matter what it is, say, you know, today you're on your, I was thinking about that too when I was driving the kids to school. I'm like, what if I got into like a car accident, like a little car accident, you know, not a huge car accident, but I mean, I'm not there yet, but say I got into a little car accident, you know, and I'd have to say, this is the best thing that can happen to me. So I'm trying to train my mind now to be in that space, because if that does happen, you never know who you may meet, like what might happen. I mean, really, everything is a blessing, especially if you're in alignment with the universe. And when you're in alignment and you're in love with everything and everybody and the whole world, and everything is just love, the good and the bad, then that is the state to be in alignment, full alignment with the universe. So I'll probably be making a couple other videos about this book. I'm not quite finished with it yet. So it's an amazing book. I recommend it to all of you to help you with putting your dominant state into a happy and abundant place. And it's a wonderful book. So something amazingly awesome is going to happen to me today, and this is the best thing that can happen to me. Those two things for now. So thank you so much for watching. I love you all so much, and have a great day.